and he could just improvise, right? A learned but breezy and quirkily musical, right? I think, and high energy, because he has aspects of that I think spoke to my own work, presentation, right? And get away with calling it a kind of talk poem, right? Even though it wasn't necessarily being driven, right, by the classic poetic values, right, we associate, such as lyric intimacy, right? Although I did mention there is a way, right, in which my own project, right, does want to claim that intimacy, right? So in that sense, I think it may not sound like poetry or be edited as carefully as a poem, but I think it's trying to channel some of that lyric interiority, right, some of that romantic sense of becoming, right, into the kind of hyper-public context of the shared YouTube video poem. And this whole Museum of the City, what does that mean for... If there's a Museum of the City, is then all the city a museum? New York certainly feels like it, right? But to think about the role of the repertoire of our bodies, right, as they are being archived, because this project is also an archive of my body, right, my different hats, my different, maybe some slight weight fluctuations there, but not a lot necessarily. Certainly various times of the year, right? So it's an archive of my body, right, in ways that we tend to think of embodied politics, right, in performance art, for example, as all about a kind of resistance to the hegemonic power of the archive. So I'm thinking about that. In what ways are we, when we do selfies, when we do right, social media, kind of museumizing our bodies, or at least aligning our bodies with the institutional politics of the archive in very specific ways. I'm not sure I have an answer for that, but it's something I've been thinking about more recently. And maybe for the last couple of minutes, we can just let the city be and bleep and sleep and become. We're at El Museo del Barrio now. And as I was looking at it, I was thinking about my research into the institutional history of this museum, and particularly the work of the poet Jack